the present moment we're just crossing over, I think it's the Coquet.
It's the Wansbeck we've just.
It's the Wansbeck, I beg your pardon. The Coquet's up here somewhere.
Yeah, it's I think it's a next big river.
Next one up, okay. I was caught mid-river, there you go. So just crossed the Wansbeck. A huge fast flow pipeline services van has just nipped past us. We're overtaking a vehicle transporter. The trees just look dark and slightly spooky at this time of night, and we'll keep you posted as to where we are. We've got to slow down just an ounce because we're being notified that we're in speed camera territory. I think you could lose your licence quite comfortably on the stretch just between sort of Morpeth and Edinburgh if you let yourself go just a bit. But why is this particular place haunted? Well, at a time in history when the Vikings were hitting harder and harder against the entire north of Britain, this castle that we're about to visit must have looked like one monstrous hurdle. More often than not, they avoided the entire area. They would rampage further north or further south. Yet there was one longboat captained by a particularly vicious Norseman called Dagrun, his name meaning day and secret love, that kept seeing the castle. He kept sailing past it, and he wondered, what treasures would you hold in a castle that size? What could he take from there? One day, he peeled away from the small convoy of vessels to land his longboat on the beach beneath the castle. At that time, the sea was slightly further away than it is now, but even so, this monstrous castle on the hill still looked pretty invincible. The soldiers in the building had rang the bells in a nearby peel tower, and the castle filled with locals, all dragging their most prized possessions, their bulls, cattle, sheep, hand carts loaded to the maximum. And do you know, for a castle its size, there were only 72 proper soldiers. 72. But with the locals, the fighting force was close to 300. The Vikings had fewer than 30 people on their longboat. This would be absolutely no contest. But the one thing these Norse had on their side was a reputation for being amazing warriors who never knew when to stop. They caroused around nearby villages, setting a few on fire, eating and drinking what they could find. There were those in the castle who said, "Look, they're all drunk, let's go out and destroy them." Others saying that the castle's defence was more important. Let's lose no lives until they've gone, rather than putting themselves all at risk by opening the door. Now, for the real soldiers, watching these Vikings marching around their village from the battlement was a real test. One man thought he would take matters into his own hands, and early one morning he marched out of the front of the castle, the guards swift to close it behind him. This man was balding, in his late 30s, clenching a club in one hand and a woodsman's axe in the other. He walked straight towards the village, where all but 2 of the Vikings slept. The other 2 guarded the longship in a narrow harbour nearby. He walked into one tent and then walked out, holding a Viking head in his hand. He dropped it to the floor. The other Viking he had hit with a club, crashing the skull. Both men had been totally drunk on the local mead. The other soldiers in the castle were itching to race over and get involved, but their commander quite rightly refused to let them. Hut by hut, this man was beating the enemy to a pulp, until one Viking cried out as his throat was being slit, and suddenly the village was filling with Norsemen armed to the teeth. This man, known in the region henceforth as the Canna Man, a man who surely couldn't. Canna means cannot. So he was doing something that he really shouldn't have been able to do. But over the years, Canna Man turned into Canny Man, which means something slightly different, meaning he was a completely decent fellow, and so it seemed he was. He walked out of one tent, covered in blood, saying to the Viking leader, who'd lost half a dozen men, "Go now, before we finish off all of you." By then his Vikings had disarmed him and were holding him with a knife to his throat. They even tried to sell him back to the people of the fort for any gold or silver they may possess. The castle owner said it was his choice to take up arms. He must live with the consequences. In other words, if you were a rich landowner, stuff the peasants, I'm keeping my money in my pocket. And they've all done that. Even your family, Richard, I gather. However, even then, the soldiers so wanted to go and wipe out the invaders, but they were obeying orders. So, the captain of the guard yelled back to them, "He's nothing to us. He's the only treasure you'll get from her. Now be gone from this place before our main army returns from Alnwick tomorrow. 200 armed men will send you to your gods." This was not true, but it was enough to unsettle the 24 men left. They huddled and then dragged their prisoner along with them. From the castle walls they could watch them move back to their longboat. There in the simple harbour were a few small boats belonging to fisher folk. Suddenly they saw their prisoner, the cannon man. He was covered in a black, oily pitch. He was hoisted up to the mast by his hands and hung there uncomfortably. This small boat was dragged out behind their longboat, and just before they set the vessel free, one Viking lit a fiery torch, walked from the Viking craft onto the other vessel, igniting the poor soul. The fire engulfed him almost immediately. He screamed as it ate away at his skin. From the castle, they watched the rope burn, flinging this body into the middle of the boat and setting the boat aflame as well. The boat eventually sinking, falling beneath the waves with a big shh sound as the salt water extinguished the fire, sending a black line of smoke up into the sky. Even to this day, the Cannyman is said to be seen in the dunes nearby, or whispering to people in the castle corridors. He's said to have pushed a few people down the stairs, stroked their skin, or whispered to them. Amazingly, many craft offshore have reported seeing something on fire on a small boat near the harbour, as if this poor chap's ghost was burning over and over and over again, as if in perpetual replay. And often, if you stand on the beach, you look around and you can smell the unique scent of human flesh cooking. That's why we're heading where we're heading. We're continuing up that mighty road that cuts right through our region, the A1. We've reached one of those bits where you just cannot overtake anybody because we're on single track. The road to Long Horsley is just off to the left-hand side, 2 3/4 miles at Bergen Park Golf Club. This time of night, I would imagine everybody will be in the 19th hole, I'm guessing, as we cruise further north. And what do you always get behind when you do the A1? Doesn't matter whether you leave first thing in the morning or last thing at night. A huge truck with hay bales to the ceiling, travelling at 27.3 miles an hour, and in front of that, a caravan. Happy days. But we're going to get you there. You're coming with us, because I've got one or two more tales to tell before we get to our destination. Alan Robson with you on another legendary ghost hunt to one of the most iconic places in all of Britain.
Live from Bamburgh Castle.
Alan Robson with you on the road. Yes, we are heading to a place of 1,000 ghost stories. They're reported every day by people who visit this incredible castle. You've probably already twigged as we're passing Alnwick on the A1. We're passing Warkworth. There's two castles that it can't be. which tells you it can only be one. Chillingham, we've done Chillingham many, many times, and it's never let us down. An amazingly haunted property. However, tonight we have the honour to be visiting Bamburgh Castle. Robert, the Earl of Northumberland, claimed to be all-powerful. That castle at Bamburgh certainly looked strong enough to defy all comers. However, in his arrogance, he fell out with King William II, who decided to send his armies north to besiege the castle, using one of the early siege devices, a huge protected platform that the king called his evil neighbour, or Malvesin in Old English. To everybody's surprise, the castle fell rather too easily, many of the troops feeling a loyalty more to their king than to the Earl of Northumberland. Robert was captured trying to make it to Tynemouth in a small inn near Seahouses. Bamburgh Castle was then owned by the Crown. It became a royal property, and it was around that time that the rich and well-to-do friends of the king would often stay at Bamburgh. One local tribal leader had a very beautiful young daughter who was considered a Northumbrian princess, and one of the king's nobles had more than noticed her. He'd already offered a fortune in dowry if she would marry his son. Well, the father was happy to agree. However, the young girl refused, for she was already in love with a local boy, son of a farrier called Arthur. The father refused to allow any communication between them, placing guards to follow the boy wherever he went. Eventually, after about 5 months, her father told her that the boy had married another girl who was also with child. This she refused to believe, but she was the type of thing her wealthy father could arrange to happen. She became distraught. She was losing her mind. Such a great love she held for a man. Her father decided to try and improve her spirits by spending a bit of money on her, getting a seamstress to make a beautiful pink gown. And as soon as it was completed, she put it on. She climbed up to the castle's highest parapet, and she hurled herself off onto the rocks below. Arthur heard what had happened and rallied against the lies told by her father. Some say that when he confronted the dad, he was slain by his men. Others that he hanged himself from a tree overlooking a small rivulet that flows down to the sea. This was thought to be the place where they had held romantic trysts, and now it's said that that pink spirit is now trapped in Bamburgh Castle and is seen with alarming regularity, stroking past you, stroking the back of your head, breathing on your neck. Some tales claim she's only seen every 7 years, yet every day, certainly every week, someone sees her. Others have said to see her making her way from the castle to that broken-off tree stump where Arthur had taken his life rather than spend his life without her. We've just flown past Alnwick on the A1. We're heading towards Bamburgh Castle, of course. And whether you manage to enter the castle or you just get a chance to walk around the dunes outside late at night, the one entity to avoid is known as the Waylayer. Now, there's two schools of thought as to who this might be. Some say he's a particularly bothersome tramp who was insistent on getting money from anybody who passed. Now, the story goes back to the day in the early 1800s. He stopped a man on horseback from the castle and refused to let him pass unless he gave up at least a single coin. Now, the rider trampled him, and on watching him stagger to his feet, hit him hard on the head with the stock of his pistol, knocking him into a particularly deep and wet ditch. And there he remains to this day. It killed him. His spirit will not leave until the body's found. It was a deep ditch, swallowed by the wilderness. However, the story of the Waylayer started before this troublemaker's death. From around 1790, stories abounded of a senior staff member of the castle, a guy called Jack Barton, who used his influence to abuse lower staff and any servants brought in the retinue of guests. He saw it as his duty to force sex onto his underlings. He'd touch them improperly and demanded their silence, lest he would have them sacked or imprisoned. When one girl refused, the following morning jewellery from the castle was found in her bag. She spent the rest of her short life in Alnwick prison, where she was perpetually gang-raped, infected, and died aged only 26. This man was manipulative, rather too physical, and bullied all who stood in his way. His only master was the son of the castle owner of that time, who knew nothing about what was going wrong. By 1823 he was getting rather old, and he knew that he was not long for this world. He'd raped hundreds, abused too many to count, and yet no one dared speak against him. And then one day he disappeared, and he was never seen again. Now some say he was murdered and hidden in one of the castle's many secret passages, walled up alive. For during the search of the castle, they found a recently hacked off tongue that they would later feed to their hunting dogs. If they'd hid him in the wall, they could not risk him crying out, so removed his tongue. And what about his hands and feet for knocking and rapping? Others claimed his arms and legs were broken, so he could never escape. Now, throughout history, guests have claimed to someone or something touching them improperly, on the breasts, on the bottom. Literally thousands claim to be touched. One woman screamed feeling a hand cup her breast, then squeezing it gently. Others have had their hair stroked and their bottoms or legs stroked in a provocative way. This creepy rapist is exactly the sort of entity to avoid, because we know what he's done, and maybe, just maybe, he'll want to do it again. His telltale quick walk, heavy breathing, and the bad breath smell of rotten cabbage. He is often experienced, usually by people who move from room to room. That's what we're going to be doing tonight. And our victim, who's never ever visited anywhere like this before, is in for a real treat. Not far now. We're approaching that turn-off that takes us from the A1 along to the coast, where the glory on a hill, the beautiful Bamburgh Castle stands. Alan Robson heading off with you. The present moment before our victim arrives, we've managed to catch up with Chris. Beautifully manicured lawns. We are now in the main area of that fabulous castle called Bamburgh. Looking out at it, it is absolutely stunning. Always has been, always will be. The king of castles, you advertise it as. It is. Tell us your story. How are you here?
I worked for Historic Scotland for a number of years, looked after a number of castles for them up north,
right,
and was given the chance in 2007 to come here and to look after this for the Watson Armstrong family.
When we were talking about the possibility of getting in here, because it's a place we've wanted to do for the longest time, you were saying, I've seen stuff and I've heard stuff and I've experienced. You've been in enough castles to have done precisely that. What kind of stuff have you come across?
Well, before I came here, not a lot in some really old Scottish castles, so I was always a bit sceptical about the whole thing.
Right.
But I don't think we'd been here a week when we had the first experience, and it was a classic doors opening and closing. There are 4 doorways to get up to my apartment,
right.
and the first one closed, and we sort of looked at each other and went, interesting. And when the second door went, and it was like, that's the bottom corridor door going. And then the third one went, and I went, oh no, that's the passageway door. If there's another door, it's the outside door, and all the alarms will go off. And then there was a 4th door slammed shut, so that was it. Out of bed, getting dressed, waiting for the alarms to go on, fending off the police, and went out, and there was no sign of anybody anywhere. But when I got up in the morning, there was one door that we never closed because you can't open it from the inside, from our side.
Right.
And it was closed. So I had to radio for somebody to come and let us out.
So that you'd actually been locked in?
Yeah, so and we were the only people in the building.
Now, you must get people who come round and have a look who will say to you, this has just happened and that's just happened, I've just seen that. What kind of stuff do people say?
We get sent quite a lot of photographs with weird and wonderful orbs and shadows on them. Some of them we can explain, some of them we go back and we try and recreate, and we can see that it was shadows of people standing behind the person taking a photograph and things like that. Right. But yeah, we do get a lot of people unprompted will come and say, do you know, I could have sworn that somebody just stroked the back of my hand down there, and we'll go, oh yeah, that's a little girl in the Tapestry passageway that she does. That's how she gets your attention, because it was a school and a residential school for children back in the 1800s. Wow. So we get things like that. And then there's a character, Dr. John Sharp, who was in charge of the castle at that time, and we've seen him a lot, and he was the first guy I actually saw, and that was just...
When you say scene, explain, how vivid was it?
It was vivid enough that I was walking through the King's Hall in the winter after we'd just had all the floors polished and everything, and I was walking along thinking, gosh, these floors look really nice. And I went, oh, excuse me, and stepped round and then went, hang on a minute.
Who was that?
And it was a flash. And I turned around, of course, there was nobody there. And then about 3 weeks later, I was coming out of the billiard room down into the main body of the castle to go and fetch something for David and Kathleen, who were cleaning. And the guy walked across the bottom of the stairs, and I went running after him saying, excuse me, we're closed. How do you get in? We're closed. And he'd gone. And
what did he look like?
Tall bloke, dressed all in black with the white wig, the white Victorian wig on. Yeah, powder wig on, and the big black cloak on. And it was really interesting because one of the guides, Raymond, then said that he'd seen him behind a closed-off area in the King's Hall. I can show you later. And it's really strange because when you look at this CCTV, you can see Raymond going to look for the guy that isn't actually there because there's nobody there. And it looks like a comedy thing, but he swears blind. He walked across and he went chasing after him.
But this is the thing about the amount of experiences that you've had at this castle. I mean, what are the main stories, the crunchers that people come... Because I know some people do just visit castles for the kind of ghost stories that are attached to them. Who are the main ones here, then?
There's supposed to be a soldier that was garrisoned here that was very unhappy and that shot himself. He's seen quite a lot sitting on the steps. There's a very old story about a mother with her baby who was starving, who went up what we call the Miller's Nick. It's some very steep steps up the back of the castle, and they went up to the guards there and were asking and begging for food, and they pushed them roughly away, and they actually fell down the steps and died. And quite a lot of people think they hear children crying and come and find staff sometimes and will say, I'm sure there's a baby crying out there somewhere, but I can't see anything in it. It's often associated with that.
Now, we've heard about the Pink Lady on the way travelling up here. Beyond that, we've already got half a dozen people to kind of keep our eyes open for here. Busy. It
is, yeah. There's the 2 or 3 children-associated incidences as well. With we had a guest staying, and she came down to breakfast and said, "Who's the little girl?" We looked at each other. We have 2 sons, you see. We went, well, no little girls. She said, yeah, about 7 this morning, the little girl walked into my room and woke me up and said, come on, get up, it's time to play. She said, and I said, oh, go away and play with Otello and Wallace. And that was, she said she woke her up. And then my son came home from school one day and walked in said, "Hi, I'm back from school," and was greeted with a chorus of voices that said, "Hello, hiya." And he went up the stairs into the flat, nobody there, not my wife, not his brother, nobody there at all. And our apartment was where children lived during the 17 and 1800s.
How about that? I mean, wow. But can you be comfortable with it? Because this is you coming from all these places where you'd be looking over your shoulder, but there was nothing there. This time you're seeing stuff, you're hearing stuff, people are touching you and stuff. Can you get used to it?
Yeah, there's never... It's never bad. There's never a bad feeling here. It's a really nice castle. It is, and that feeling extends through all the different levels as well. It's just lovely.
Until you meet a dead person in a corridor, I'm guessing.
Well, we've got a room in here with, I think there are about 180 skeletons in it, all in boxes that were excavated from an Anglo-Saxon burial ground. The back of the chapel over here behind us, we pulled a skeleton out of there 3 years ago as well. It had just been dropped into a hole quite unceremoniously.
So obviously nobody's status, just somebody died, they dug a hole.
Yeah, very much so, yeah. The Anglo-Saxon, the noblemen, they were buried just outside the castle in the dunes there.
Right. And there's been numerous time-teamy archaeological digs from all over the place, absolutely directly behind me. Amazing results again.
Yeah, it's always interesting to meet the ancestors and time team specials that have been here. We dug up the middle of this beautiful lawn the last time.
You got it looking great again.
Yeah, no, the guy swore blind that he would put it back as he found it, and he virtually did. And we're 3 years down the line, and you now can't see.
You never know.
Can't see him. And that was really interesting. Took that hole down to the bedrock, because it was always assumed that there was a building attached to the Anglo-Saxon chapel behind us here, and they found evidence of post holes in the bedrock there. So, yeah, definitely.
So it goes back even further. How far back? Because we talk about recorded history. This area, purely because of its place on the coast, has been used since prehistory.
Yeah, very much so. I think first recordings were about 600, 650 AD. Anglo-Saxon stuff in chronicles there, but yeah, there's evidence going back to 10,000 BC, I think, with flint tools and evidence of
10,000 years of people living right here. And if ever, and people say that if you drive like a sports car or whatever, it's the equivalent of waving your private parts at somebody. If ever a royal was going to try and show off, this castle's waving big style, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, back then when it was the centre of Northumbria, when it was the capital of Northumbria, and probably England at one point as well, it would have just been... There were stone buildings here, not quite like there are now, but there have been a lot of big wooden structures here. Yeah. But it was the home of the kings of Northumbria.
Now, you'll be hearing all about these kings and various lumps of their bodies that were stolen from this neck of the woods a bit later on. But our victim is about to arrive. Let's see what she has to say when she realises exactly where she's going. She has no clue.
Live from Bamburgh Castle.
As you can tell by the ambience of my voice, we're in the castle at the present moment. And Jen is just about to leave us to our own devices. You're carrying all the radios around, Jen. You must be very important here.
Not really. I'm just one of the guides here. What I was going to say was, on a Saturday morning, I start upstairs in the courtroom. And it usually takes the first visitor half an hour, 20 minutes, half an hour to get through there. So I'm sitting there minding my own business, and I hear the footsteps coming up the stairs.
Right.
So I get all ready to greet the first visitor up there, and nobody appears. So I sit down again and think, and then it happens again. And after about the third time, I usually go through and say, either show yourself or go away. Right. And then it goes quiet.
Now, the pink lady's supposed to leave a little scent behind.
The pink lady's smell of roses. Can be anywhere in the castle, not any particular room. I haven't smelled them for a long time, but the last time I did, again, was the courtroom, and a lady wanted to know what the air freshener was that we were using in one corner of the room.
It's dead lady.
It's dead lady. In one corner of the room, you could walk into the perfume and literally step back out of it.
Unbelievable.
It was. That's the strongest I've ever smelt it.
Ever seen a figure or anything? Some of the guys have seen bits and pieces.
See shadows. You see shadows when you're sitting at the entrance, waiting for people to come in, and it's quiet, and you get ready for a visitor coming in. Nobody appears, but the shadow's there.
This must be weird to work here, Jen.
Not really. It's just part of Bamburgh.
Absolutely.
We don't bother them and they don't bother us.
That's the way to look at it. Jen, bless you. Thank you for your time. Now, ever since arriving here at Bamburgh Castle, the man that everybody's pointed me in the direction of is Keith. Keith knows all, sees all. He is the great Swami of Bamburgh Castle. Hello, Keith.
How do?
Now, tell me, what kind of things have you experienced here?
Well, I've seen Dr. Sharp a few times, but I'm not the only one. And
A lot of people see the powdered wig walking across rooms.
Yes. Well, he loved the place when he was alive, and it obviously still does. I've also found out that in his will, he left in modern money the equivalent of £8 million, most of it to Bamburgh Castle. He wasn't the owner, he just loved it so much.
He's not going to leave his cash either. He's looking over his investment.
Yes, exactly. But there's one thing I want to tell you about, because a lot of people, especially school teachers who come regularly, know about the little girl in the Tapestry Corridor. Years ago, the story goes, there was a school party going through, little ones holding hands 2 by 2, girl on the right of a couple feels another little girl's hand in her right hand, so of course she turns to talk to her. Nobody there. 2 Easters ago, I was going into the corridor, and there was a young mum in her 30s with 3 little boys and her own mum, and I heard her say, "This is where it happened, Mum." And Mum went, "Where the ghost held your hand?" And she went, "Yes." And then Mum saw me and she said, "My daughter was the little girl in the story." Wow. And I said, "I'm delighted to meet Sophie's friend at last. And isn't it brilliant to get confirmation of a ghost story you've been telling for years, especially when the man who first told it always said he made it up."
Wow.
And it proves he didn't.
Now, the thing is, you mentioned Sophie. Who's Sophie?
Sophie is the little girl in the Tapestry Corridor. Her name is possibly Sophie Bosworth. It's definitely Sophie. We used to call her Rosie until 2 days after a school teacher, a middle-aged lady, confirmed that she exists, because the year before, Sophie obviously liked her, recognised her, and held her hand. And she was the sort of lady who would look down, see no one, and yet whisper, "Hello, darling." She was that sort of teacher.
Sweet.
And 2 days after that, the name Sophie came into my mind, and a little hand just brushed my hand. And I think she was saying, "Please tell them I'm called Sophie, not Rosie." Thank you.
She's been happy ever since?
Yeah, and we like her. She's blonde, blue-eyed, wears a white and red striped dress with sailor collar. She's 6 years old, and of course she's cheeky. She's 6.
Do we know her story?
Nope. Nobody can find anything out. As far as one of my colleagues who seems to live, when she's not here, in the county archives at Woodhorn is concerned, nobody can find out anything about her. She obviously lived here, died when she was 6, scarlet fever or something, but she's definitely Edwardian.
Right. But there's so many people being in and out of this castle over the generations.
Oh, yes, including a former colleague who I won't name, but he was a practical joker then, and when he does visit still, he still is. Usually, well, at expense of his former colleagues. 3 of us in one case, he played a trick on simultaneously.
Wow.
And gave the game away by blowing gently down the back of my neck, which he always used to do when he was alive.
Now, at the present moment, we're in a room beside the crew entrance to the Great Hall. We've got a table strewn with all kinds of jiggery-pokery, including a lot of inventions by Richard R. Boffin, who started off as a skeptic, but blimey, you've caught stuff on camera already.
Yeah, it's we've had a happening by a door, the room that we're standing in, apparently it's been known to have smells of roses or something. But
we've had a smell of something.
We've had a little smell of something. It smelled a little bit like Palmer violets to me, but there was certainly a smell of something. So, yeah, I'm getting a bit interested now.
Now, you've got things like a ghost candle. What's a ghost candle?
Oh, the ghost candle. It's a little light that sort of will dimly light on its own in the corner of a room, and if the state of the room should change for any reason, it will either dim, indicating a positive presence, or it will go brighter, indicating a negative presence.
Right. Now, spectroscope as well. What's that?
Oh, the spectroscope, it's pretty much the same idea, but it's a lot more sensitive. And the idea with that is it has a very long antenna, and you can walk around and do a full sweep of the area, and you can sort of pinpoint areas of maximum activity with that one.
Now, I recognise a few from the television shows that I've done. You've got Gauss meters that'll pick up any electrical energy. You've got some of the old school stuff. You've got rods, so you can actually communicate. You've got 2 pendulums there as well, where you can, again, ask questions and see what you can get.
We certainly have. The pendulums tend to be very, very accurate in their operation. And I've also got the one thing that a lot of ghost hunters miss out on. Everybody sort of bounces on the laser thermometer. Well, the laser thermometer only measures surface temperature. In my armory, I've got the K-type thermocouple meter, and that measures instant changes in air temperature.
We've set a watch. We've wound it up fully. Will it stop? Will it not stop? We'll find out. Will it be moved? We've also got piles of coins, so you can set up traps and you place them in a certain way. You've got this. This is a clever idea. We're going to get our victim, and probably Antoine de Bouilly too, seal this and then leave it on a table. And essentially it's sugar inside a plastic container. Now, if we seal it so that nobody can get into that, the idea is spirit can go through walls, so therefore they can go through a little tiny piece of plastic. Can they leave a message? Can they mark it and move it? And realistically, if you don't open this and you keep it sealed, it's just sugar. So even if you dance with it, you can't get anything that looks other than it's just a pile of sugar. So Antoine's starting to jump when the clocks go off. This is your very first proper ghost hunt.
Yeah, and I can smell that kind of flowery smell again.
It's flowery.
Yeah.
It's violety, you say, but not
violety.
rosy.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't put my finger on it, but it's an odd smell.
And yet we've got that almost immediately. It's fantastic. Some of the clocks going off, I think, are going to try and make us all leap and jump about. But you're going to start placing these things in various parts of the building. Off you go and do your thing, Richard. We're going to have some recorders so that if anything happens in rooms where we're not, hopefully we'll be able to pick something up. If that's the case, all the better. I think for the traps, Richard, I'd leave them until Maxine arrives, and we let her set them so that she knows we've not been messing with them. I think that's probably the best way, because she's never had an experience of any kind at all. So off you go, Richard. Good luck to you. And just being told that Maxine's going to be a little bit late. That's because Kenny's driving her. But they'll be here as soon as they possibly can. Alan Robson getting ready for what is going to be an amazing night right here at Bamburgh Castle.
Live from Bamburgh Castle.
Entering Bamburgh Castle into this magnificent room. To tell you everything that's in this castle would take forever. There's more weaponry here than you literally could shake a stick at. There's a child's cot at the top end. If that starts to move, I'm going to be out of here. I love ghost hunting, but there's certain things that are a bit freaky. That's the child's cot. There's a copy of Bamburgh Castle made out of wood, beautiful. And every kind, there's a picture of Sir John Conyers slaying the Laidley worm at Spindleston Youth, painted by Bertram in 1904, right here. The sword that he did the deed with is said to be here in the castle too. You go through into another room where you get lots of furnishings. You can turn to your left and you enter yet another room with lots of crockery and tall grandfather clocks, dark furniture and things brought from the east. That this is the first small room, dates from the medieval period, was used as a schoolmaster's kitchen. You said to hear children running around. That is the stairs up to private apartments, so we're not going to disturb anyone there. We move into the central room where I have got my table with all of my bits and pieces on there, but you turn to your left-hand side, paintings of Oliver Cromwell, who was here. Another small room, a buttery it used to be, and during the 1800s it was a girls' mistress's sitting room, used as Lord Armstrong's office in the 1900s. Huge fireplace. little office where he would have written his letters and done all that sort of thing. Up a ramp for access to the King's Hall, and this just takes your breath away. The wood in the roof area is just incredible, and in every cabinet, weaponry worth an absolute fortune. This is the medieval Great Hall. Far end, a raised platform for the lords and ladies descending in status to the kitchen door. The ceiling is made over 300 ton of Siamese teak. In the 1800s, it held dairies, a pantry, a children's wash area, and also a hospital and infirmary. The keystone in the main arch, placed on the 2nd of November, 1897. However, you've got to remember, listen to that, what was that? I'm getting noises here, I hope you heard it. You know how they say that certain doors creak and open on their own? I've just heard, in the distance, the biggest noise. The Great Hall is amazing. The amount of weaponry again on the wall, every kind of spear known to man, and the built-up area at the far end, looking like you could certainly dine beautifully here right now. Suits of armour in cases. The darker it gets tonight, the more eerie this place will be. We've already had a few orbs. We've already had a few kind of grey figures. We will have a look by the end of the night. 3 helmets, 3 steps up. All of these rooms are in play tonight as we still look out. The sea, not so very, very far away. We come across a small corridor with steps leading up. Once again, a picture of the Laidley worm attacking something. Small chairs and bracket clocks. Paintings of people who are once famous and legendary. Hello. What the hell was that? That was really close. You remember me telling you about the Lord Crewe Arms and a woman called Dorothy Foster? She was born in 1672. She died in 1715. And here in Bamburgh Castle is a picture of Dorothy, the wife of Lord Crewe. Oh my God, fathers. Are you getting this? There's absolutely nobody here. Whatever is here doesn't give a poo. Leading up here. I got a bit of a puff on there. There's a big screen to my right-hand side, more paintings of people who... there's a girl here, quite flat-chested. Looks a bit like an ex-wife. No, it's Dorothy Foster, the niece of Lady Crewe. How about that? And an outfit here, a gold silken and woolen dress that Dorothy Foster wore. There's more memorabilia here than in the Lord Crewe Arms itself. It's amazing. And as you go around the corner, we're in the big billiard room. You can hear the change in the ambience. A fireplace that goes from floor to ceiling, and the ceilings are very, very high. A pool room with all of the balls laid out as if ready to start a game. A table, a banqueting table with about 20 chairs around it. And out the window you oversee the fields leading on to the sea. A rack of billiard cues and a whole host of books in the library here. As you go through even further, we are now... Did you hear that? Did you hear that? I'm getting noise. Can you hear footsteps? Listen. Oh, come on. Can you hear that? I'm not moving. That's and then they've gone. And it was almost like they walked up to a wall and it stopped. We're in a fabulous room now with a long chaise longue and many other things besides. Lots of paintings. And again, you're overlooking to the right-hand side. Let me stare into the darkness. There's the sea beyond the castle wall. We're still waiting for our victim to arrive. All of this shall be hers. the other side a small village, and we're along a corridor. This is the corridor where the little girl shows herself with there's tapestries here, beautiful tapestries, hidden quite rightly. This particular one was a curtain made by Russian prisoners from bits of their uniforms in the Crimean War. In recognition, they did this especially to say thank you for the humane treatment that they got. They weren't battered or harmed by anybody. Another step up here that again overlooks the castle walls and the sea. Fairly rough for this time of night. And this is the tapestry corridor where that little girl is said. And also on these very stairs that I'm about to go up, they say that a soldier sits here. A soldier who he actually shot himself in the head in the early 1900s. He was suffering from depression, and on these very stairs. Also, directly behind us, we have the room upstairs with muskets, English flintlock muskets. There's 6 in a row. Cromwellian new model army uniforms here. There's a crossbow on the wall. And I've operated one just like this. It's a target crossbow from the 17th century, and you have to put your foot on the end of it, and you affix like a ratchet device, and it winds back the huge heavyweight rope bow, and you can fire some crossbow arrows literally 300, 400, 500 yards. Fireplace here. Again, the drum carried by the drummer boy, and swords and headsman's axes, a whole host of things absolutely everywhere. It really is quite something. Looking out of this window, you can look along at the sand dunes just outside the castle. The clock on the castle in light blue, absolutely beautiful. And yet, who knows what's going to happen? How much further can you go? It seems like it's just an endless walk. Weaponry, and there's the headsman's axe. When you get to the end of it, you see that there's a door halfway through the room, and you take that, and you're into another massive room with everything. The courtroom, this is, where people were judged. It spreads around in a bit of an L shape. You're once again overlooking the sea, and to the right-hand side, a tiny little door that leads to a hidden, mysterious staircase. When people look at the staircase, people often see a little bit of smoke because there was a fire there. People running down, you could see the shape of other people, ghosts, spirits, evacuating the area, coming down the stairs. There's ermines, as worn by judges, and the judiciary. Again, 100 paintings, lots of Dorothy Foster. She was very, very popular. And some stairs down again. Long, dark stairs leading right the way down to... you see how far down they go. Now, they didn't have a dungeon here, but they did have a couple of rooms where people were held. Not like jail cells or anything. Oh, my goodness. This is an amazing room. This is the keep. They've got a chain big enough to tie up the biggest line, or a bison's head. And again, more armour standing up to my left-hand side. And the well, of course, the thing that gave this entire castle its power. Because the well, if you've got your own water, you can't ever be starved out of it, because as long as you can drink water, you can survive. It's an Anglo-Saxon well, 44 metres deep, 2 metres in diameter. It runs to a shrubbery outside the castle where the existing pump house was made to carry out services. And again, just behind it, more steps down and around to, well, let's find out where it leads. There's a hidden staircase to your left, not sure, and that's it, closed off fantastic. So, the lights are turning off, and that's exactly what we'd like. You're with Britain's most listened to. What are we going to get tonight? Now, I've just got back. I've walked the length of here. However, underneath my eyes, I'm sweating. Yeah. And the reason that I'm sweating is because something happened there. I got to the end where I was detailing what every room was, so that when we get our victim here, we can get her straight into a room. I turned around to come back, and just before I bumped into our host, who's been going around making sure that all the lights are turned off. The room past where he was, which is past the tapestries where the child is, then you go up a flight of stairs where the soldier shot himself in the head, and you come to a very square room that's just got a chaise longue in it, and it's got lots of plates and stuff. Without a word of a lie, I'm carrying the broadcasting kit. I walk past a chair. When I get close to the chair, it was as if somebody was in the chair and flicked my hand. I actually felt something hit the front of my hand, and I dropped the microphone and the kit onto the chair where the thing was. Now, I was not near the chair to like bump into it, but something came up, hit that, and the microphone went down, and I got the shock of my life. And all it was just, if you can imagine somebody just slapping the back of your hand. But it was a slap. Because everybody here says, everything at Bamburgh Castle, it's lovely, it strokes you, smell of roses. I got a smack. And could I have been imagining it? Why did I drop them on the chair? I wouldn't have dropped them on the chair unless something had happened. Because it's our kit. And we want to use this, obviously, when Maxine gets here. So, an interesting start to a night. Have you heard anything? Have you felt? We've had a smell. That's all so far.
Just a smell up to now.
Just a smell. You've not heard anything?
I've seen a shaky thing on the passage between the end of the Great Hall and the billiard room.
A shaky thing?
It looks shaky. You know, as if you're looking through steam.
All right.
Yeah, so I've taken a couple of photographs and I've got something by a table.
Oh, fantastic. Well, wait, what we're going to do is we're going to take photographs all night long. Just take them. Don't necessarily even look back at them. Then at the end of the night, we'll get together and we'll have a debrief, see what we've got. Kenny Dick has arrived bringing us our victim. And it's Maxine.
Hello.
With a broad grin saying, what have I let myself in for? What we want to do is show you what the kind of stuff we've got on the table. We're going to set traps in places. If we give you a pile of coins, for example, what you would do is pile them anywhere you like and just leave them in a place. Then you go back to them later. You don't even have to tell us necessarily where they are, but set a trap. Okay? So there's some coins to do that with. Also here, what I want you to do is, have you got a label of some kind? For example, this is a Tupperware container. It's just got sugar in it. Now, is there any marks on the sugar at all?
No.
Right, well, what we've got to do is, we have to tape them closed, and then you cover the edges, so that nobody can pull them off, okay? What I want you to oversee is...
This is peeling it off.
Peeling the label off.
And it's paper, so it'll rip.
It's paper, so it would rip if you did it.
Okay.
Do it, yes, those sides are the perfect.
Right.
Because then it'll go right down the side. So,
all the way in.
okay, now check the seal. We want this to be completely above board. And once again, right into the crooks, so you can't cut it or rip it.
All right.
Right, now what I want you to do with this is I want you to take it to anywhere in the castle and place it somewhere. On a table. Obviously, we're not allowed to mess with all the antiquities you can imagine, but place it on a table somewhere, or on one of the red seats. Because what we can do, we're told we can't sit on any of those kind of seats. So place it on a red seat and just leave it, because there's no way you can get at the sugar from below, above, or either side. If you want to check the box, you can, but hopefully that's it completely sealed. And then, as you see, if spirit exists, they can go through walls, they can go through plastic, so therefore they could leave something on there. Who knows? Richard's also got an old stopwatch. It's wound up to the max.
Ticking away merrily?
It is. Don't know whether we can pick that up, but it's ticking away. We want to leave it. We can leave that just here. But the idea would be, will anything mess with it? Is there anything else we want Maxine to do as part of her challenge? And then we'll lead it to somewhere really dark.
Somewhere really dark. I think what would be really good is if we place one of the optical devices in there, so if there's a change of state.
This is a ghost candle. Explain to Maxine how it works.
Yeah, the ghost candle, we switch it on, and then once it settles down to the room, it will either stay quite dim or it'll be quite bright. Now you see how, as I move it through the ether, how the changes occur. Now,
yeah, but you're going to be sitting it still. So what would you expect to happen in a still room?
If it goes really, really bright,
there's something about
you have an absolutely positive presence. If it dims down, you've got a bad presence.
The people you're looking for, there's a soldier who shot himself in the head on some steps, on some stairs up there. There's a couple of young children that we believe died of scarlet fever who run around the corridors laughing and giggling and stuff. There's a pink lady who usually her presence is shown by the smell of roses, essentially, rustling a crinoline. The one thing about this place is they've already slapped the back of my hand. And they physically knocked the mic out my hand, and I literally dropped the whole kit. I was just walking. I wasn't recording. I was just walking back to tell everybody what I'd seen, and that happened. So, but apparently, the one thing that every member of staff says, they touch you, they stroke you, back of your head, whispering. And there's one in particular who was a staff member who died here, who's come back, and he loves practical jokes.
Oh, thanks.
So happy days with that.
Oh God, what am I doing? God, my heart is racing. Big weapons room. Feels quite calm in here. A little bit eerie, but quite calm. Can hear noises, but it could be somebody somewhere else. It's like slow footsteps. Still hear them. Stopped. This is really eerie now. Can you hear noises? I just don't know where they're coming from. Don't think they're from this room though.
Now, Antoine de Boogie and I have just been hearing a host of noises of doors opening and closing, and we're told that is common. You heard that, didn't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Clear as day. Now, I thought it could have been Richard, but Richard wouldn't make that kind of clattering and banging. And let's see, I must have, I don't know whether you caught it, whether you didn't, but I heard some of that a little bit earlier on. So let's see if Richard's picked it up, if Richard is still about. Richard, knowing him, will be playing with his toys and getting them ready for our next wave into the unknown. We're going past the Great Hall. It's getting darker all the time. Through the second small room, there's an amazing staircase. You can hear us climbing at the present moment. And he has the key to unlock a mystery, really, more than anything else. the one thing that we hadn't been able to see. Well, there you go. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Chris, how many people are in here?
Well over 100.
There's over 100 dead bodies in cardboard boxes marked skull, lots of skulls, ball hole finds, and various bits of human beings. What's going to happen to all of these people? Because at the present moment, it's like they're in storage, isn't it?
Yeah, they are. They came out of the ball hole excavations in the sand dunes, an Anglo-Saxon graveyard, and there are still, they reckon, up to 200 more bodies buried out there. And these have been excavated, they've been examined, and they've had loads of data, loads of information about where they came from, not just in Britain, but abroad as well, in Europe.
Do we know how they died?
Some of them, yeah. There's a warrior here somewhere who's quite famous. He's been on the Bone Detectives in America. And he was struck with a sword that cleaved right down through his left arm. It's nicked his hip and right down his left leg. So it was a huge blow taken on the battlefield, probably.
Every single one of these, obviously, is dead. I mean, that goes without saying. However, each one's got a story.
Yeah, sure, and that's what the archaeologists were able to determine by doing radiocarbon dating and looking at the pollen analysis of seeds and things that they found buried with them.
Because they will pick up little bits of the goods that haven't deteriorated in the sand, I suppose.
Yeah, very much so, yeah. And there were some grave goods that came out of one or two of the graves there.
But a warrior race, obviously.
Well, very much so. As being the capital of Northumbria, we would expect to find, quite a lot of large soldiers or warriors surrounding the king and his entourage.
But when people go to crematoriums and they come back with that little urn and you think, surely to goodness you can't get an entire human being in that little bowl. These boxes are probably 3 times the size of a shoebox and you got an entire human being in it.
Yeah, you do, yeah. I mean, once all the skin and the flesh is deteriorated and rotted away and gone away, then there's not a lot left.
Do you not worry that these should be in the ground?
Yeah, there's a whole debate, I believe, going on about reburying and whether they should be. I think we would like to see them reinterred at some point, and that's why they're here now, kept away nice and quiet in this medieval tower.
Do you ever hear banging from the inside of this door?
No, I have to confess that's one thing we haven't experienced. No, Alan.
I just think that, to be honest, I think you've done it with a great deal of sensitivity because people do want to learn and we want to find out as much about our forefathers, our ancestors, for the people that live here. But you also want to do it with an ounce of respect.
Yeah, I think so. And they are treated with respect at every stage of the process. Yeah.
No, absolutely. It's just strange. I've visited a lot of countries and I've seen open graves, I've seen mummified bodies. I've just never in my lifetime seen over 100 Anglo-Saxon warriors and their ladies and their children in a room, all in cardboard boxes. That's just not something you see every day, Chris. So thank you very much for letting me have a look.
You're very welcome.
Live from Bamburgh Castle.
What a night we're having here at Bamburgh Castle. My goodness, even though it is still a little late, all kinds of stuff going off in all directions. Let's catch up with what Kenny's doing.
Views are spectacular through the windows. See the sea on one side, glorious countryside on the other. And typically here we go down a dark corridor. Just walking up some solid steps here into a main part where you can see armory, weapons, swords, all kinds of scythe kind of things. Lots of paintings on the wall from obviously hundreds of years ago, as you would expect in a castle. Now going through it looks as though it's leading to a dungeon. I sincerely hope we're not, but that's what it looks like. Cold stone walls, more armory, awful figures. Way to see all kinds of weapons and armory. Hardly any light here at all. And there's a sort of massive fireplace like you would see in a castle. You can imagine living here all them years ago and just sitting in here. Oh God, just see the flash of light there. Trying to picture it for you back at home, wherever you're listening. It's hard to speak at the minute. That door's just moved by itself. And I'm not kidding, it's just moved by itself. There's a sort of door opening that I've just come through. There's no one standing here, I'm here by myself, and the door has just moved, I would say, about 6 inches. There's no wind in here, obviously. It's very cold, but there isn't any wind. There's sort of two, what I imagine would be the windows now, but I would imagine in the past that was somewhere where they were probably fired from, or whatever, I don't know, but that's the kind of defence of a castle, I suppose, overlooking the sea. Massive, jeez, you could probably hear that. Massive chains, and these are the biggest chains I have ever seen, which is next to the door that just moved, so I'm not sure I really want to stand by that. Did you hear that? Right, I'm hoping that was just a pigeon of some sort. Now, when I came in here before, there's a sort of a thing next to the fire, I suppose it where you would put logs or whatever. When I came here seconds ago, there's no one else in here, this here was standing upright. For some reason it's now lying down. I didn't even hear. What the hell? I didn't even hear that move. There's noises all the time in this corner. I'm in the corner next to a fireplace, a very large fireplace. There's 2 crossed knives, like daggers, I can feel. Like I say, it's really dark in here, and I'm just going to walk around this room. Got like a pain for some reason. Pain in my fingers and in my hand, which is unusual. Never had that before in any ghost hunt. Where the hell's that come from? I don't know what's below here. What is this? Oh, get away from that. There's another room here or not. There's also a chair here. It looks like it's a... I don't know what this is. It's like a... Is it a well? It looks like it. Yeah, it's got the Anglo-Saxon well. It's stone built, wooden top on it. Oh. It's really creepy because every time you look up, you see the 2. Well, obviously, I can't even see the bloody words. I can't get the words out. It's like 2 figures that you've got here, which are on plinths, with obviously the metal armour on. So you can imagine there's 2 of them standing looking over you all the time as well while you're in here. It's very echoey, getting short of breath. Yeah.
What did you get? Anything or nothing?
It's all kinds of stuff. Lots of noises, lots of weird noises, shadows, all kinds.
She got some footsteps.
I got footsteps as well.
Heavy footsteps,
Yeah.
dragon footsteps.
Got that.
We caught at the other end of the building. We went in chase of doors banging, because what they've said is the most common thing is a door bangs, then the next door that bangs, then the next door bangs, then the next door bangs.
Right.
And we got about 2, maybe 3 in a row. And then when we got there was nobody there.
I got that door moved. That door, the entrance door there, as soon as I came in, it moved about 6 inches just by itself, just moved. But the shadows there, there's loads, like a child's shadow, but is that a cape? Like a cape kind of thing on it? These 2 things frightened you to death, these 2 figures.
There's 2 figures of knights that were used in a film as well, these suits were at one point. And there's swords everywhere.
Oh, some fantastic swords.
Lights on, a few lights, and but it's getting darker.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
Have you heard anything?
Loads of things. It's like footsteps, noises,
Did you catch
child, yeah,
Catch
you would have got
the
them all on here.
Brilliant.
Tears,
Yes.
little water droplets. Aye, little water droplets just down there. I take it that's what they were. I just put two and two together and thought they were tears. I don't know. This is where your mind starts playing tricks.
Yeah, I know you've got to be careful to differentiate, but then we're going to send you back, and I think Maxine should go down there next.
Let's see.
That's what I think.
It'll be interesting if she gets the same kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, we'll not tell her.
Great.
Guy shot himself in the head there, and there's a little child that runs up and down here. So we're going to put somebody here at the Winston Kids.
Thanks.
Just announced darker.
Thanks.
Got the more sensitive one here.
Right, and
The past 6-7 yards here up this path. This is incredible. Just all around us.
the light's flashing. It's
look.
it's gone.
It's gone.
Nothing there at all. And it's bright.
Right. It's here. It's here.
As soon as you point it at the darkness where the child's supposed to play, then it all lights up.
Well, look at this. Gone. It's with us. Gone. So it's whatever it is. It's here.
Right here between us.
Here between us.
Wonderful. Hang on. It might be just me, but I've got bare arms. Can you feel that colder?
Look at that.
Degrees colder today.
It's colder right here.
Degrees colder.
And Richard's got it nailed.
Just have it nailed.
Did you get that?
Oh, there.
Can you feel that?
It's right here. It's right. It looks like it's here. It's here. It's here.
And the light
here.
flashes bright red,
It's
and
here.
it's
here.
it's small. It's girl size.
It's tiny. It's tiny.
But how can you change within a 4 foot square? How can you change the temperature? Feel that?
I feel it freezing cold.
It's freezing cold here.
Are you getting freezing cold there?
And none of the windows. Look, everything's blocked off. All the windows open.
So there's no draft. So how can that happen? Come on, you're a scientist. Explain.
That's incredible. Well, and look, there's this energy which is only three and a bit foot off the ground. Look, it's here,
But it's
right?
not higher.
It's nothing.
It's nothing. It's not. It's nothing. Oh, this is great. This is great.
So, and this is where Sophie is, which is fantastic. If you're going to play Sophie, please do something else. Do something else, Sophie. I've just noticed where she's put the sugar trap as well. So it's on the chair over here. So we'll just leave that and see what happens. Nobody touch it. We're going to head back and try and find Kenny a place. Kenny, it's but that is still this.
It's here. It's right. It's here. Right.
But will she come with us?
I don't know. We'll find out. I'm getting flashes of.
Let's walk and see.
A lot of energy.
But that was yeah. I'm getting the warmth now. The rooms here are absolutely beautiful. We're going to stick you in a real comfortable place, Kenny. We're going to put you in here for now. Comfy seat. Tell me what you get. I'll try and get the lads through here as quickly as possible.
I'll just talk through it.
Please do.
Right, fantastic room, this one. The ceilings are all boarded, nicely wooded with them decorative panels, as you can imagine, befitting a castle of this nature. But we're in a billiard room. How good is that? Massive full-size snooker table with all the balls set out, and then you get that feeling again, a dry, sort of throated feeling that you get when you're walking in a castle that is haunted. Well, the billiard balls haven't moved, but again and again. I don't know if you got that or not, but just like that click-clack of balls hitting each other, like billiard balls hitting each other when someone's playing. It just happened there, but none of the balls have moved. And again, like I say, when you're in these dark places in castles, your mind does play tricks with you. And your imagination runs riot, but you cannot replicate that noise. And again. And you can hear the ghostly footsteps again. Oh, what's that? Do you hear that bell? It's like one of them bells you'd hear if dinner was being served. Time for come for your lunch and they clang the bell kind of thing. So creaky these floors as well. It's footsteps, it's banging, clanging of change. Definitely hear the click-clack of balls on the table. Definitely. Just trying to be quiet because I can hear voices as well. I'm not sure where they're coming from. But there is voices there in the background. It's weird. You keep on noticing things. In this other window, which I'm just about to go to as well, again, there's stonework that's flaked off and come off. And that wasn't there before when I walked around. I would have noticed that. I would have seen it. Yeah, there's stone that's flaked off from the main part of the window, which is sort of Gothic kind of shaped windows and stuff. And it's just... Right, that actually fell off there, so I'll stand next to it. That bit of stonework just fell off there. And I'm sure I've just heard something sort of tweet as well. But there's no birds in here. It's impossible. That was like a major, large piece of furniture. Oh, God, I'm moving in here. A major, large piece of furniture, which is impossible to move. You couldn't move it. It would take about 5-6 people to move one of these tables. So they're one of the big banqueting tables. Oh. And there's like, uncomfortable feeling of a pain in my side. You can hear them footsteps in this corner. You can hear them so clearly. And you really can. Just keep on seeing flickers of shadows of movement in this room. And again, that was a black shadow of a person who must be about 6 foot tall. I can still see the shadow. It's just near the doorway. There's a sort of a black... Did you hear that? It's a black 6 foot shadow in that doorway. Fuck. Right, I'm out of here.
Let's go and see how Maxine's doing.
Right, I'm in the second room. I don't like this room very much. It's not as bright, basically, as the other one. They set the coins down in this room. It's the old well. Quite eerie in here. There's a lot of pictures on the wall, different things on the wall. They've made us take my coat off now, so I'm going to feel everything. 2 coats of armour. Should be, don't move, because they're big. I don't know how people was able to even walk around in them. And there's just quite small windows on either side coming in, so it's got a lot of shadows in here. Oh, some very dark stairs. Oh, now that's just made my ears pop. The minute I went down there, I want to go down, I can't see what's at the bottom. Oh, I don't like this. I'm not even going to go down there. I don't even know where that goes. I can't even see. It's absolutely pitch black. Alan said it's been sealed off to trap the spirits in. I just hope they stay there. Very angry looking man on the wall. I don't know who that is. Just like a big kind of stone room. Oh, some massive chains on the wall as well. What they're for? God, they're really big. I don't know what they were for. And there's like a buffalo's head. Not nice. Sit down. Got a bit of light coming in, so it's not too dark. I'll sit this end. There's something oppressive about this room. I don't know what it is. Constantly hear little noises. You just don't know where they're coming from. Oh God, I don't like where I'm sitting. There's something above my head. I'll move. I don't want to let my imagination go wild. every time I go near that well, near that dock, them dark stairs, me ears pop. So, it's really weird. This is not a nice room now. I don't like this room. Don't know why. It's just a room. It's just a room. Room with a well. Room with a well. Right, I'm in the bottom end again. My ears have just popped again. God. Can you hear footsteps again? Okay, I just don't know where they're coming from. Not in this room. Can't hear them in here. It's like outside the door. Kind of torn between wanting something major to happen and then you don't. Coins have moved. Did I put them like that? Going on a little angle. Straighten them up again. Completely straight. That was the coins Alan gave us to put down. This is bizarre. You go to touch them, you feel like something's moving them, but it's not you, it's bizarre. Wow, that's really strange. Everywhere you look, there's like knives and pistols, whatever they are, on the walls. Sort of like randomly scattered around. There's some really weird looking stuff up here. I haven't got a clue what that is. What is strange is I've got a ringing in my ear, ringing sound. Didn't have that before. My ears keep popping every time I go down the side of the room. What was that? I can't even describe what that was. It's like someone, I don't know, someone mumbling or... Hey! I really hope that his pigeon's trapped. I really do. Oh, no, I'm not liking this. It's behind the fireplace. God, that was so clear. What was it? What was that? Oh. I kind of wanted to do it again so I can work it out. It's got to be something simple. I'm right beside it now. Where it was coming from. No, I really don't like this room. I wish Alan would come back quickly. I've had enough of this room now. It's like a muffling sound. It's hard. It's like I don't know, like someone's trying to talk, but something was over their mouth and it was muffled. Oh, my left arm's freezing now. Can't see if my coins have moved again because at the bottom end of the room I don't want to go down there. Can't see from here. What is that noise? What is it? Oh my God. Hello? Hello? Oh, it's racing now, like. Hello? Oh, God. I'm not going to shout out. I'm going to stick it out. I'm not going anywhere. It's a baby's cradle, that's what's bizarre. It's a baby's cradle on the floor in this room that's got knives and guns. But this chair, I don't know. Hello? Hello?
So let's see. Hello, there she is. Hello. Moving about.
Yeah.
Did you hear anything?
The children play down here.
Yes. What, you heard kids?
Yeah.
Did you see anything?
No, but every time I go down there, my ears pop.
Your ears pop?
Every time. I can't go down there. I put the coins in, they moved.
Right.
So I put them back up straight again.
Hang on, whoa. Now, you know there's nobody can possibly get down here.
I know.
You put the coins there and they moved.
They went on a slant, and when I tried to straighten them, it was like I couldn't straighten them. There was something between me and the coins. So I've managed to straighten them. But if I went down there, I went down them stairs, down there.
Yeah.
My ears popped. And then before, there's noises, there's children's, it's like, I don't know, like a child running around giggling but covering their mouth at the same time.
Well, the little child's called Sophie. So if you want to talk to Sophie...
I just said hello, she's not speaking.
She's not speaking. She's been following us around with a little this device, and we've had a lot of stuff. We've all, well, most of us saw a dark shape at the top of the stairs that we just had to climb up to come back down again. Maxine's had all kinds. The coins have moved and not let her change the shape of them again. Her ears have been popping when she went down the stairs. I've not come across that ever before.
That's a new one.
Every time I go beyond that table where I put the coins, my ears pop.
So how did you have? Show us how you had the coins, Maxine. And
well, the back now, the way they were.
Right.
The way I put them.
Where did you put them?
They're down here.
Oh, there they are.
Yeah, and I came back and they were like on a like that.
Do I like that?
And then when I tried to put them back and I had my hand there to straighten them, I felt like something was between me and the coins and wouldn't let me straighten them up. And then eventually I managed to straighten them. And then I went down there and my ears just popped all the time. So I even went right down, it's really dark down there.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then the child's voice, that's really bizarre.
You see, now, when that lights up, there's something with you.
The child,
and it's been constant.
The child's voice, it was honestly like she was giggling, but she had her hand over her mouth as if she wasn't allowed to make a noise, so she was covering her mouth.
Now, the thing is, because you've got that device with you, we'll have it. I mean, when you talk to it, do you talk to it to your mouth?
Yes.
Thank you. Good. Yes. And I've got to make it. I'm used to using one. Obviously, you're not. That's amazing with the coins. The ear popping thing.
There's nothing from that bit.
Now you see, the well is amazing. It's an amazing well, and it's the thing that kept the castle safe. Because obviously, if you got fresh water, you could hold on to a charge and let people attack you as long as you like, because you're always going to be able to fulfil your thirst. But people are supposed to have lost their lives down there. Now I don't know whether that's where ear popping comes from, but I would imagine if you fell 200 metres down a well, your ears would probably pop.
Last time my ears popped was when I did that
the flying thing.
Jump.
Yeah, I can imagine. You don't want to remember that too well, but
no, I don't know, it was quite good.
When the chute comes up, that's the moment.
I was strapped to a man, I was it's not bad.
At the moment before, that's usually a bit of a oh my god.
How old was the child?
6, 7.
Sure. Sounds like a young child.
Died of scarlet fever.
Right. I was like trying to think, what else could it be?
But if we've got giggling and stuff, that's
I covered
amazing.
Like muffling though. Do you know what I mean? Like muffling our voice, as if she didn't want to be heard.
Right.
Do you know, like if you're giggling but you can't laugh in front of your parents, so you put your hand over your mouth, so you can tell they're giggling, but it's more of a muffled giggle. That was what it was like. And it was quite a lot. She did it, and then it stopped. And then she did it once more. I kept saying hello, and
she likes you.
Once more, and it stopped.
But she was running around you. Did you hear?
No, she wasn't running around us. She was in front of the fireplace.
Right.
That was where I heard her all the time. Always on the side of us. and my arm went ice cold as well.
Right.
Ice cold.
Fantastic.
I blamed you for making us see me go down.
Well, you're the furthest away here, so
Yeah.
even if you had a scream, I'm not sure how we would have
I
heard
didn't
you.
want to. I don't want to scream. I don't want to, because as soon as I realised it sounded more like a child, I don't want to scare them off.
Right.
I don't want to, because I want to see something.
Good. Well, we want you to.
But I want to try and keep an open mind on it all. But she's definitely over there.
Right. No, it's a good thing, keep an open mind and discount 90% of it. And what?
Just come towards the fireplace where you heard it.
She's hanging around with Maxine.
Yeah, we've had this before, remember?
Yeah, I know, attachment.
Yeah.
She's not coming home with us.
No, she's not going home with you. She's been here far too long for that. But I tell you what I think we should do. I think we've got to move where our base is and put someone in the Great Hall and maybe somebody in one of the smaller rooms. I'm leaving this staircase where we keep getting stuff. I'm leaving that till kind of last, if that's all right.
Maxine's just moved away and the light's gone off. Isn't that funny?
We all go a little mad sometimes. Haven't you?
One of the great joys of doing this kind of thing is never knowing whether you're going to get anything or you're not, and you wait and you hope. And there's been footsteps and footprints, doors slamming, heard doors slamming, and all the doors are locked. We are completely locked in here to Bamburgh Castle. I'm moving through the Great Hall. We know at the far, far, far end of the area that we can cover, we've got Maxine, who, if she can do a skydive, it's testament to, how strong she is. But will she experience anything? Or is she so strong, whatever she gets, she'll discount? Huge fireplace directly in front of us. Every now and then you come across a cold spot. Some of the paintings, the eyes of them, there's one here of the Virgin Mary, and she looks in a way you wouldn't trust her as far as you could throw her. There's one of Jesus looking very sorry for himself, but there's one of Mary clasping her hands together. She's looking straight at me with those kind of eyes that follow you around the room. I'd turn this one to the wall if I owned the castle, that's for sure. And then you step out into the darkness.
This is a beautiful, beautiful room. The Great Hall. You could spend a good couple of hours just looking around in here. Oh, now this is weird. And I don't know if you can hear it. There's got to be a clock around here. I can't see one, let's see. Just trying to find, I can't go past that rope. Ah, yeah, there is. That's all right. I know what that noise is now. Right, so we're in a big hall. Loads of cabinets. Beautiful things in them. Oh, very cold there. Here we go. Guided tour of the Great Hall. Some of the pictures are very strange. They're not the prettiest of pictures, that's for sure. Tea services dating back to 1850. Wow. What was that? Sophie, is that you? Don't know whether little Sophie's with us or not. Oh, God. Clock's wrong. It's not 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock now, whatever time it says on there. Some more swords, crossbows now. It's weird because you can hear. Everything Everything seems so loud in this room. It's echoey. Must be clock chiming time, I think. They all seem to be going off all over. You can hear them. Certainly come back here, mind, when you're not going to be so spooked. Amazing place to walk around. Some more daggers from the 15th century now. That's just the grandfather clock. This is really bizarre. 1800, that's from. Everything is going off. Oh, I tell you what, if you were in here, this would freak you out. Not really synchronised very well. Still really cold. Strange, it's only my left arm. It's my left arm that's cold. Can't believe this. I can hear that noise again. Hello? There's either somebody above me, which I don't think there is. I hope there is. If not, I can hear what sounds like a deep voice. Very deep voice. Just look up there. There's nothing above. God, there's nothing above us. It's just like... I can definitely hear something. It's just not clear what it is. Like a music loungy room up there. It's got a piano. Lots of old chairs, not allowed to go in. And loads of chairs actually, but 2 large sofas. Pictures everywhere. 2 big globy things, which actually look like what we would have or what used to have. Sort of like hold wine bottles in. You would open them up. Somehow don't think that's what they are. We've got a compass on the bottom of them though. I hope there's no dungeons in this castle, that's a thought. No, I thought of that one. Is that light moving? No. No, it's not. Stop it. What is that? What was that? Like a light flashed on one of the pictures. There's no sun outside. There's no light in here. Like a camera flash. What's the picture? Fisher folk on shore. Can't say that being very... Where's that come from? Want to sit back down again. Everything's at the bottom end of this room. There's nothing up at the top end. All seems when you come down the bottom end. Oh, someone's come in.
And we know there she is, to the far side. We don't know whether she's just had a lovely time looking at all the antiquities or whether anything's happened at all. Maxine, there's a bright open. A lot of people say they've seen things during the day when it's fully lit. It's twilight. What have you got? Anything? Nothing?
Nothing up there. There's a light flashed on that picture there. That's why I'm sitting watching it now for it to do it again, like a camera flash.
Right.
There's a very deep voice come from over there, but I don't know whether anyone was behind there that could have caused that. And there was a bang from up there.
from up there.
Yeah, that's why I'm down here for, because there's nothing up there. It's all down here.
We can't get into the upstairs spot because it's private apartments, but there's nobody in.
Well, there was a bang from there, like a really deep man's voice, and I think my little girl's here.
No.
I think she's here, yeah.
What makes you say that?
Because I heard another voice, but it was like it was like a little child's voice, but not muffled this time. She's not muffled.
I heard bells ringing when the clocks went off.
That's they're not synchronised. They all went off at different times.
I looked at the clock and I said, oh, there's the hour. Oh, incidentally, Richard discovered something about how we set a wrist, like a pocket watch kind of thing.
The pocket watch running, I had it running side by side with one of the carriage clock things that they had in there, and it stopped at 28 minutes past 6.
So it's fully wound. Now, you cannot stop a fully wound watch, but yet it stopped at 28 minutes past 6. You with Alan Robson. This is, of course, another one of our ghostly tales and a ghostly visit to a place I've always wanted to do. We've never had the chance at Bamburgh, and finally grabbed it with both hands. And the people here have been immense, really special people. If you want to spend a little bit of time to come up and visit this enormous monster of a castle, it really is a jewel on the northeast coastline. But stuff going on here. Let's cut to Kenny.
So, another room at Bamburgh Castle. This time, it's called the Armory. It was originally a Norman chapel, dating back from the early 1100s. You can see on the walls, well, you can't, but I'll describe them to you. There's pikes, muskets that used to belong to Northumbrian militia. Already in this room you get a sense of foreboding. Suddenly you just come in this room, you feel depressed for some reason. That's the only way I can describe it. Your whole body sort of gets drawn in itself. And again, short of breath. I'll walk around and describe some things for you. On my left hand side there's a rack of 6 English flintlock muskets with the bayonets on the end. Apparently these were stationed in the castle during the Napoleonic times in the late 18th century. Rack of 6 of them there. It just looks fantastic. I mean, this castle really is a gem. It is without a doubt the best castle that I've been in to have a look around, but you still keep on getting noises. Even when I stop walking, I can still hear footprints. Not footprints, footsteps. Again, out the corner of my eye, just seen a flash of something. It was a white flash just above the doorway. And then the bell again. Every noise, every creak, every groan that you hear is accentuated and make you... Every fibre of your body just jumps as soon as you hear a noise in the darkness. The thing is as well, these noises are persistent. It's not just a noise every now and again. It's there constantly, all the time. There's creaks and groans and footsteps, and there's no one else in the castle will know that. And in this armory room, it's sealed off from everything else anyway. So even if there was someone sort of trying to play tricks or anything, it's impossible, because there's no way anyone else could get in here. So these noises that you hear, all genuine. Right, there's a directly to my right hand side, about 6 foot away. Did you hear that? Literally 6 foot from me. There's wooden planks running the entire length of the room, and there's one particular spot, literally 6 feet from where I'm standing. You keep on hearing noises from it. Now, it's not above, it's not below, it's on that, there again, on that particular plank of wood. I didn't want to walk in this room. There's a room, small room, like I say, it's all cordoned off, this room, from the rest of the castle. But there's Did you hear that? There's a small doorway. Oh, there's more of those paintings on the wall where all the eyes are staring at you. In this room, next to the armory, is I take it where they had the meals and stuff, because all the sort of plates and the fineries all set out, and there's actually the coronation robes are housed in a glass case that people actually wore these and displayed them. Breathing heavily, and like I say, that taste of foreboding and fear hasn't gone. It's still there. And every time you take a step further into the room, it's like a darkness descends on you. Like your whole personality just feels, if it's shrinking inside, that's the only way I can describe it. There's so many noises in here. Right. Again, there is a window at the far end of this room. It's arched at the top. At the top of the arched window, again, all you can describe it like is a figure. Obviously impossible, because it's standing about 4 foot above my head. And outside the castle gates, when you look down, it's about 40 or 50 foot up from the grounds of the castle. As if it was trying to look in the window. I had to move there. I was trying to be quiet, but just to be left. Listen, that 2 foot away. 2 foot away from me. It feels like there's someone standing literally 2 foot away from my foot. Oh, getting out of here.
Unless the bone sticks through the skin, we're not strong for anybody. Yes, Ken? Kenny, you've been in the... this was an old chapel once. That used to be the sacristy up there. It's now been transformed into an armory.
Really weird. From that window, the far window there, the arched one, you keep on seeing a black figure, but it's as if it's on the roof looking in, not standing. Like at the top bit there, you just catch it out of the corner of your eyes.
Whatever the next block along.
No, you see this window here?
Yeah.
As if
there's
someone...
like a clock tower opposite.
Now this window here, as if there's a...
Somebody climbed on the wall outside.
As if they're on the roof looking in, which is impossible, I know. But that's
crazy.
What you look, I know.
But that you saw a little dark shadow.
Dark shadow, a couple of times in here.
Anything else?
Loads of noises. Loads of noises.
Anything distinct?
Creaks. I wouldn't say distinct. You get feeling of foreboding in here. You feel like depressed in here. When you walk out, you suddenly feel different. But when you come in, it's like a clouds on you. Like.
That's good.
Unhappy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting, because the soldier who shot himself on the staircase just nearby,
right.
he was depressed after a battle, losing his friends and what have you, shot himself in the head because
Seriously?
of depression. Now, we mentioned Maxine before, of course, and she is our willing victim tonight. Not quite sure where she is. Back at the studio, cut across to Maxine. Let's see what she's up to.
Oh, the room I'm in, they've left the device, and it was off, and it's now going very bright red. Very bright red. I'm trying to get this thing to stabilise. Oh my God, that is so bright. Sophie? Hello, Sophie, is that you? Sophie, is that you? Hello? Trying to talk to me, Sophie? I know you're here. It's really strange. We've come down a corridor where there is a very, very heavy curtain, and there's no drafts, and it's constantly moving, and the light is really shining when you go past it. They've sat me in a room, which is actually quite a pretty room, It's like a lady's room, I would say. It's nice cream colours, like drawing tables kind of thing. And they've sat me in here, and the light was off on the little machine thing that we've got. They've walked out of the room, and the minute they shut the door, the light is now bright red, and it is still bright red. Hello, Sophie. You come to play? I've got like a pendulum thing that I'm using with a disc with yes and no written on. The light's still really red, really bright red. Sophie, did you play here? Now my hand is completely still. Completely still. And every time I say, do you play here? It swings over to, it's going, well, I wouldn't say swing, it's not swinging. It's starting to move. And it's moving as if it's going over to the left all the time, where it says yes, not over the right. So at the moment I'm kind of central. So I'm in the middle of both words. And when I look down, I can't see the words overlapping the bottom of the pendulum, but when it starts swinging, it's covering 2 letters of the S. And the light's still on. I think I might give up with this and use these little rods and see if Sophie comes with me, because for some reason she's just staying with me, and it's really sweet. Oh, it's really quite sweet. Oh. So I'm going to wander with them, and I'm going to see. I'm just going to put this down. Right, Sophie, we're going for a walk. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this and hold this at the same time, but to what Alan said, you just hold. Oh, God. You've got to be joking me. Oh, this is so bizarre. I'm holding these exactly like I was told to do of Alan. Hold the black bits. If you hold them straight, there's nothing. If they cross, then there's energy. Well, I'm sorry, but the minute I pick these up, they've crossed and they're bouncing around in front of us. So Sophie's clearly in this room, and I'm going to see where she is. Oh, and she pretty much is sitting next to me from the look of it. This is amazing. Oh, now I'm crossing a little bit now. I'm going away, but the light's still on the machine, but now I can't see the machine. It's still very crossed. So I'm taking it nice and slow. And it's quite cold down here now. They're starting to uncross now. Oh, they're crossing again, so I think she's oh, there they go again. And whether you can hear them actually clicking. Right, now I am back to where we believe Sophie plays. This big carpet is moving again like mad, and these things are just going ballistic. It is just amazing. Completely crossed. I came here with the idea to keep a very open mind and not report anything, not elaborate on anything, and I'm not. I'm not at all. These are just so crossed. I'm going to go and see where she is now, because I've got the little machine. I think she literally it feels like she's, these things are just going mad. Absolutely mad. I'm sure this has got to be where she plays, though, because it doesn't feel... It feels nice. It feels like a really nice room. I can imagine she's got loads of room here. Mind you, if she knocked the china cabinet, she'd be in trouble. She's still here. The red light's still on. See if I can ask her some more questions. Let's put them down. Right, let's get this thing centred and see what I can do, because she's definitely here. Oh, there's somebody definitely here. I just hope it is her. Hello, Sophie? Is that you? Is that you, Sophie? Are you here? And it has just gone over to yes. Just constantly looking for explanations. Is my hand shaking more than I think it is? Because my arms are really cold still. Hello, Sophie. Sophie, are you playing? Sad, but I'd be quite disappointed if she went. It's quite nice knowing that I've got this little girl. You know, it's quite sad story, but to have this little girl, I died so young. I think she's going. Yeah, they're definitely still crossing them little rod things I've got. I know they've got a name, but I can't remember it, but they're definitely still crossing. And according to the little machine with the light on, Sophie's still in the room. Could probably explain why my arms are still going really cold. In fact, there's a very cold spot right beside my right arm now. Wow. I think Alan's come to rescue us again.
Delicious. And yet in here, my goodness, you're not alone. When we left you, there was no hint of red light there. Now it seems to be on solidly. And
as soon as you shut the door.
As soon as I shut the door.
As soon as you went out there.
The light came on.
That came in. And these just went.
Crazy. What's happened, Maxine? Tell everybody.
I'm cold. Very cold in here.
Freezing. And actually, it's warm in here. I think it's warm.
I'm freezing.
But hang on, we've got a laser thermometer that'll tell you the temperature is
18 degrees.
Which isn't cold.
I'm freezing.
Right, because you've been sitting beside...
I've walked around. I walked around with the cross massively through here.
Right.
It's quite warm out there, but the minute you come back into this bit, it's cold.
Well, I can tell that.
So I can't tell. That went on the minute you left the room.
And the conversation that you had?
I just kept saying, is she in here? Does she used to play in here? And there's a couple of times, it's hard to tell whether it is moving or whether it is just the fact that you're holding something that's quite fragile. But every time you sort of like, it covered the S on the S. But I don't know whether that was definitive enough for me to believe that.
Right, okay.
But they just, I was like, pretty much like this holding them, and they were just like, wow.
And you can actually feel them move.
I could feel it. I said that on the tape. I could feel it like as if it was swiveling in my hand to get across, and I was holding the black bit.
Right.
Rigidly, and I didn't know actually.
That's right. Oh, look at that! Look at that! That's crazy. That's crazy.
It's been like that, like constantly. And then I walked around. It's not as much out there. I don't think she's out there as much. I think she's in here.
Yeah.
She's sitting. She's been sitting there.
But you saw how I did when I demonstrated them before. I could quite easily hold them level. Look at that. That's not quite level.
No, I'm trying. I'm practicing.
No, but look at that. You see? Whoa. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's just ridiculous. Well, we've got a few more things to do, and what we have to do next is there's a room down there that is said to be haunted. They've seen a lot of things down there. I want to put somebody down there, and I think it's probably going to be you. It's actually almost like a mini hallway. We'll get a jacket for you if you want a jacket.
No, I'd rather just keep going like this.
Because you can't tell more.
I'm freezing.
I know it's a hassle. That's bizarre.
I'm hoping it is her. I'm hoping it's not like some weirdo person. I'm kind of hoping it's her. I kind of get the impression she liked being here and she didn't like being down in the well. But
how creaky is that? Sets your heart thumping before you start. Maxine is what seems to be like a mile away. Kenny, not quite so far. However, we are just approaching that area. Antoine de Boogie, we sent ahead just to listen out, see if he can get close enough to hear if Kenny's actually experiencing anything, and also to listen out to see if Maxine needs any help at all. In fact, I think we've lost the Boogie. Hang on. Richard's getting devices flashing and flickering.
We've had lots of two here at the doorway, right at the doorway. We've got it here now, right beside you.
So there's stuff around us now, right? And we've lost Antoine de Boogie. I told him to get close to where he could hear Kelly, and we've just lost him. He's nowhere to be seen. Look at that! Look! Straight ahead. Straight ahead, top of the stairs, dark.
Yep.
You see it? Did you get it? Can you not see it? Top left.
Top left. Something very dark.
But it's darker than anything else.
I see that. Now, look at this.
Jeez. Ooh, you bugs. Right. That was...
disappeared. Oh.
And back.
It was back when you went past.
Red light is on constant while we're moving. And we're back in the place where Maxine started, which is in the room with all of the swords and the militaria. And the light has remained constant the whole way. It's almost as if she wants to come along and play with us. Did you hear her cry? I didn't hear her cry. Hopefully we'll catch it if it's there. Bit of a sweat on. It has to be said. This is like the very, very posh drawing room where there's it's the courtroom where people were judged in here. We've already found the secret staircase which is around that. Apparently if you take a photograph up there you get spirit, but we need you. What's happening?
Whatever it was left us 6 feet back. Oh, it's come.
And that's the secret staircase. It's supposed to house. It's supposed to see spirit when you. And I can believe it. Problem is, you've got to be able to take a picture without catching yourself in it. Is the thing.
Once you're in the darkness like this, and again, very cold, very, very cold. I just saw a flash to my left there as well. A flash of light, a white light, really quickly. Just zoomed across there. The only light that I have, though, is the green little light telling me that there's a presence here. Reassuring not. Right, I'm going to describe this exactly as I see it. There's a figure to my left of a very small child. She's carrying something in her arms. Oh my God. Calm. Right, to my left there's another alcove leading to another room. It looks like an outline of a child carrying something in her arms. I can't really make it out from here. Oh, God. It's so dark. It's hard to see it properly. The green light's just staying on constant. Which means... Yep. We're in the... Oh. What happens? What happened there? It just... Right, the green light is flashing. Oh God, I'm dizzy. This is a completely different experience to the one before. Before it was calm. What the what's that? Before it was calm and pleasant to a degree. This isn't. No, this isn't at all. Again, there's paintings to the left of us, to the right, with this green light that's keep on flashing on and off. It sort of accentuates the figures on the paintings and makes it look even more creepy. I really don't feel like I want to be in this place. I don't want to be in this place at all. It's not the same. There's two pillars not far from the figure where it's really strange because it's like it looks like a water effect just going up and down the pillars all the time, like black water effect just cascading down the pillars. It's really strange. This is ridiculous. Just saw a white light to my left hand side, halfway, about 4 foot from the bottom of the stairs, and then one to my right. Same thing. Oh, got on again. Oh man. Right, that's just the clock. Don't worry. That's just the clock. Oh. I felt like I got pushed. I'm on the bottom of the stairs, and I felt like I got pushed. I've actually hit my ankle. It was weird though, because it wasn't like a hand pushing you. It wasn't like a hand, like I couldn't feel it on us. It was like a force that sort of trying to push us down that stair. Oh God, the green lights went off again. It was like a force that pushed us down the stair that time. Right, I've just seen another. You keep on seeing these little lights. People describe them, I suppose, as orbs. When you take pictures, you see these little white things floating about. Normally you can't see them. You get them on the camera and stuff, but actually here, I can see them. You can see them clear as day in the air. These little flecks of white light. You keep on wondering if your eyes are playing tricks with you in the dark, because you keep seeing things moving about and flashing about. You see, it's just lit up again up the banister. You see things happening all the time in front of you, all around you. Movement, lights and darkness and shadows, all moving really quickly, and voices and whispers and all kinds of other things. God. When that does that, it's as if it's a signal for all its activity to start and then stop. That's what it's like, as if it's playtime for kids. That's the signal. Her figure was there before when that happened. There was lights everywhere, there was movement everywhere, as if that's the signal for playtime to finish.
As soon as you walk around a corner and you get a mouthful of something, I don't know what the hell it is, but it's nasty, and I feel like you've got to clear your chest. In the distance I can hear Maxine having a conversation with someone, so I'm not going to disturb that quite yet. I just had to get long out of the way so there's no way that any noises, less alone coughing of mine, will disturb them. This is her chance. And she says that although she was gallant enough to jump out of an aeroplane, she says this is far greater a challenge than that. I'm in the Great Hall now, looking to the left, and there's a fabulous window quite high in the ceiling with an official Bamburgh Castle crest. And there's the doctor that walks around in his finery and his powdered wig. I hope he shows himself tonight. I would so love to see him. Be nice to meet somebody that loves the castle as much as I do. This is a beautiful bit of work, and if you want to come and to look around the castle, ghost hunting, Bamburgh Castle.
Live from Bamburgh Castle.
We're going to put everybody in play, everybody, so nobody's going to be near anybody else. We're all going to be a good distance apart. First of all, Kenny, you're sitting on the steps where the children died. Through here, up here. Now Tony saw, oops, I could just try to climb up a stair that wasn't there. Tony saw the figure at the end of this corridor, just there, standing at the door. So what I want you to do, Kenny, middle of the stairs, no torch, just sit down. Have you got your microphone? You got your mic? Right, good luck. I think you know where you're going, Maxine, don't you? You have to go in the darkest place of the castle. You're in the middle of that darkness there. Now, we've actually seen a small figure at the top of these stairs. It is colder here than it ever was. Let's get in and let's sit you there.
Oh no, this isn't good. I'm really hoping Sophie's with me now, because I'm sitting on the staircase. It's really dark, really, really dark. I can't see the top of the stairs. I can see like a bit of light. This is where the big sort of like curtain thing, heavy curtain thing that was constantly moving before, that's here. I'm just up from that. Oh, this isn't, I don't like this at all. It's I'm freezing. Absolutely freezing cold. Oh, my head's hurting. Oh, my head's starting to hurt being here. You actually feel as if someone's weighing you down. And what's so strange is before I was in the other room next to here, and this is where I believe Sophie played a lot. We were behind the curtain all the time, making it move. And this is where I believe she was, and I believe she was happy. So I'm kind of... It's amazing how when it suddenly goes darker, how things change. It's the same room as I was in not that long ago, but now I feel like my head is really heavy. It's very cold. And I feel like someone's pushing down on us. I'm actually quite scared to turn around because there's just a concrete staircase behind us and I'm sitting in the middle of it, kind of looking down into the long where the rug is and where the room is I was in before. It's a very long corridor that opens out to that room. Jesus, it's like it's hard. It's like a shadow keeps appearing in front of us, but like not standing up shadow, like a lying down shadow. But there's no windows there. Oh God, what was that? God, this shadow's horrible. It's a really dark shadow. It's like it's, I don't know, it's like it's trying to form a shape, but there's no windows with any kind of light coming in to cast a shadow on the floor. And then I've just heard a really loud noise as if someone's just dropped, which is possible they could have, something metal onto wood, onto stone. And I don't know whether you heard that, but that was a very loud door banging. This is now not becoming fun. And I will not scream out. I promised I would do this and I would not scream out. God, that was a heavy door banging. This is so scary. I wish I had my little red box for this. The shadow's still there. Hello? Is anybody there? Sophie, are you here? I don't think she is. It feels too oppressive for Sophie to be here. There's no movement. Curtain's not moving. It's like it's past her bedtime. Maybe it's... Jesus, what is that?
Right, now we're going the full journey here, aren't we? Round and about. Some long stairs down here. Watch your step, everybody. We're going right down the bottom. Now, I was telling the lads a little bit earlier on that they didn't have a dungeon in this entire castle. It sounds ridiculous that they've put a fake one in, but the truth of the matter is they didn't have a proper dungeon. And yet, the thing that they did have here, they had a couple of holding rooms, and the two holding rooms were amazing things. And what they used to do is they had small boxes, and if a prisoner misbehaved, Whether he was a Viking maybe that they'd captured, or somebody from the peasantry who'd overstepped the mark, they'd put him in these small boxes, a box where you literally folded in half, and they'd leave you in there, feeding you, giving you water, but you'd be trapped in this little box for up to 3-4 months. Well, by the time you came out of there, you were literally folded in half. You couldn't stand up. And forevermore, your back was broken, and you were walking on all fours, or ape-like. Bizarre. But we're here by the well. I'm handing Antoine de Bougie the ghost candle that has followed Maxine about the whole night. And there's chairs here. We've got those stairs that made her ears pop. I'm not getting any ear poppiness. Don't know what's down here. There's a big hole. I'm walking down it. Hang on. Oh. Wood door to the right. A door without any... Oh. Plonk it in there. You know, if you open yourself up and you say, what emotion do you feel? Or you goes, oh, just seen something move past the door. Literally, like a piece of white. Just went like that. At first I thought it might be us, you know, like with a reflection or something. Well, just a bit of white went like that. Almost like snow flowing up. Oh, cool.
We've got company again.
Yeah.
We're seeing we had that down here before.
Doesn't have to be Sophie, though. Who knows what it could be? Swords on the wall there. Sharp. Suits of armour. Just silhouettes against the glass. And these huge shipping chains. Amazing. This is the keep hall. There's a huge fireplace here. There's a man trap. I'm not going to put my foot in it. There's a man trap on the floor. And more manacles where this might have been, you know, when you talk about the room where they held those people. I just can't see anything box-like, but they've put something box-like in one of the rooms. And I think the least we can do is lock ourselves in. Now we're alone with the castle. And it is dark now. So, come on then, do it. Whatever you're going to do. Let's hear you. Let's see you. Let's hear you. Let's see or hear something dynamic. That spirit candle's lit red again. Lots of chains on the wall. Not just those big. There's two. I mean, these must have been used to haul ships in, I'm guessing. Make the noise on your own, without me. Oh, did you hear that? Mm-hmm. Now, you see how far I am away from it? Yeah. Did you hear it? Yeah. Now, come on, if you're going to play, make some serious noise. Come on. Come on. Something in here, please. Show me, show me, show me. Want to hear you. There's 3 of us. So come on. But I was about a yard away from those chains when I said make a noise and there was like a little clank again. Bye, chains. Lots of stairs up. You know, you don't get a coconut every time, and I want a coconut every time. I'm selfish and greedy. So now, this is where we stop. We're in the courtroom. What are we going to get here? Lord Armstrong, if you're here, or any of your family, You were in the courts. What are you going to do for us? What are you going to let us see? Come on. Richard's taking a few pictures. We've come into play, and in 5 minutes' time we're going to grab Maxine. Hang on, Richard's telling me he has a funny thingy on the stairs. Bring it to me, Richard, if you can.
Taking out all of the, see, everything's in focus. The one's 2/3 of the way, 3/4 of the way up. There's something there which is way out of focus, and then they're back in focus.
Yes, you see, there's like a grey thing in there.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Yeah. God.
What's that?
You tell me.
Best thing about that shot is that you actually haven't got you in it, because every time we've tried to take a picture. Do you hear that? Come on. Give me some more. Please. Give me some more. Give me some more. Come on. Don't tease me. I heard that clear as day. Ooh. Oh, it's the door. That's the door that leads out, isn't it? Right. Time to move on. Problem is we get a little nibble here and a little nibble there. It's never enough. We're working our way room by room with you. We're now in the old chapel. I'm now standing in the sacristy. Here you can go into the darkest sides and you can tell by the change of ambience this is churchy. And as you look out, you can see the castle grounds inside and the sea looking blacker by the moment, the land outside completely black too. As we come on, there's stuff in here that can make a noise. Make a noise, for heaven's sake. Come on. She's on these stairs.
Yeah, already.
Oh, hello. You're right. Have you had anything at all?
It depends on you. Did you come up about 5 minutes ago and slam the door? And come up and then go back again?
No.
Somebody did it and someone was talking and then the door just bang.
This door here?
Not that one. It sounded like it was from the next room.
Right.
It wasn't that one.
Well, we've just started coming through all the rooms.
Like 5 minutes ago.
Right.
It was really loud.
Did you get anything else?
Freezing cold.
Just freezing cold.
Shadows down there.
Shadows down there.
Just down here. So
Oh, we love shadows. We caught stuff on camera.
I wouldn't look behind it.
Oh,
I was just gripping onto there, so when anything came and tried to push us down, they couldn't.
So, hang on, explain the shadows to me, please.
Down here, like moving, but not standing up, like lying down shadows.
Right.
It was a shape of something.
And this is beside that curtain that we kept moving
Yeah,
before.
but the curtains never moved. Before you could really see that curtain moving.
Yeah.
That curtain's not moved from what I can tell. But I've not moved from this spot.
Well, I told you not to move, but I didn't mean you couldn't move like 10 feet each way.
No, I kept a hold.
You kept
And I kept saying to this, I'm not turning round.
Have you noticed how the whole atmosphere here is completely different now?
That's what I said. To think an hour ago, I thought this was the room Sophie were playing in Love. And now I think she's not here because she should be tucked up in bed because it's quite scary.
It is. And
Quite scary, yeah.
well, have you got all of your stuff?
We're just clearing down as well.
Here's the sugar. Have a look. Is that me or is it?
No, there's a hole in the middle of it.
It's impossible.
It's an M.
It's an M.
Is it an L?
W or
Or a W.
It's not an M.
Looks like I can see an M. Look.
No.
That is an M.
No.
Look.
Oh my God, it is.
No.
Now that's complete. This is our sugar thing. It's completely sealed.
All sealed.
Now, hang on. Check the seal.
Okay, hang on. Let's have a look at this. Don't touch it.
Don't touch it. No.
Look.
Look, it's getting bigger.
Oh,
It's getting bigger. It's getting bigger. Did you see that?
yes.
Now we're staring at this sugar in a dish underneath a lid. We saw a bit of an M.
Shine the light again. I'll take a picture of it.
We saw a bit of an M, and just as we started looking, it went into the corner. It went right in. Did you see it move into the corner?
It's still moving. Oh.
It's moving. It's moving. Now, hang on. You're called Tony. What's your name again? Oh, there's Kenny.
It's Kenny.
There's Richard. Alan.
Yeah.
Have you seen this?
This is unwritten and it's sealed.
It's sealed.
Shine the torch.
Shine the torch on the side. You only see it when you get it on the side.
Okay.
Let me put the torch on the side.
Look.
M.
There's an M appeared. It's
The
all
seals.
sealed and signed. The seals are unbroken.
That's absolutely
Can you
incredible.
hold the light then? I'll try and get a picture of it. 'Cause this is...
Well, that's a great. Well, I'll take a flash. That's fantastic from there.
Isn't that amazing?
But you saw.
She can't get into
That
it.
is an M.
Look at this.
That is an M.
That is an M. There's no getting away from that way.
Just check the seals,
But
Maxine.
you see that line there?
Don't touch it. Just.
It wasn't full.
It was just
It went like that, then that, and just as we looked, Tony and I saw it go the rest of the way. It's filling in.
It's filling in.
How can you?
See it in the middle?
Yeah, I see
The
it.
sugar's it's coming over.
It's pronounced as it was.
But that's impossible, isn't it?
Oh, it is, look at it.
It is, isn't it? Look, it's disappearing.
It is.
That's disappearing.
It really is as well.
In front of our eyes.
I think something's coming home with you tonight. You said how many kids you got? How many kids you got? You got 2 boys and a little girl. That's amazing, though. I can't understand that. How could you do that, though, without taking the lid off?
You can't.
That's the thing. What happened to you? Because you've been in the stairy place. What happened?
Again, it's really dark there, but it looked like an outline of a girl, holding something in her arms. What it was, I don't know.
Where? Up the stairs, down the
The
stairs?
stairs, to the left of the stairs. But at the bottom of the stairs, there's all kinds of lights flashing, movement.
Maxine saw down here.
Shut up.
You saw shadows down here, didn't you? Though wasn't this where the shadows were?
Yeah.
That's what could have been, and yet you probably saw what did that when you were saying that there was lots of stuff moving around down here.
Wherever was at the bottom of the stairs wasn't Sophie, it was too big.
It's too big.
The shadow was too big for a child.
So it was a man that did that.
I think, I don't think it was her.
So Sophie's not coming home with you. So who's this geezer?
I don't know, but that's not tell Michael, he'll go mad.
Michael.
My partner.
M.
Oh, but yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Ooh, that's just incredible. That's just beyond words. That's just that's.
I would have explained everything away tonight, but not. I can't explain that. That's in front of your eyes.
And if you link it with what you had, this tall shadow of something down here moving around, why would it move around specifically around here? It was messing with the box. But when you and I looked at it, it got longer.
It got more...
It just went like that. You know, as if somebody with a finger just went...
Yeah, definitely.
Maxine, it's been your night. How do you feel?
That's fixed me out now. I'm scared. It's just, I can't believe that. In front of your eyes like that.
What a night. Have you enjoyed yourself?
Amazing. Thank you very much. Absolutely brilliant.
Well, I'm so glad you came. Kenny, you've had a night and a half.
I've had a great night. We had in one room where, as I say, really calm, where I could actually have a conversation with the Lord. How weird is that? And I know that
I saw the picture, and I know what you mean by her dressing old, but I think it's maybe going out late night kind of girl.
Possibly that. But that in one room, then at the bottom of the stairs, where it's complete opposite, and it's just horrible and creepy and scary and all kinds of stuff. So yeah.
I tell you, when night came in, it was quite something, wasn't it? Completely changed the nature of the whole place. Well, the end of another ghost hunt. Sometimes it all just goes crazy. On other occasions, it just plods along with a little something here and a little something there. And tonight, a whole heap that just can't be explained. Hope you've enjoyed tonight. As always, do what I always do. Discount 95%. But what about that 5% that none of us can explain? That's why we do what we do. Always looking, always searching to get you involved in something different. Britain's most listened to, wishing you a wonderful night. From the road leading home from Bamburgh Castle, good night, God bless you, and I wish you well.